BRAINY presents 9 Habits of Empaths that make them hard to love. Empathy is a wonderful quality to have. It helps us connect with others, feel what they're going through, and understand their point of view. It's no secret that empaths are the kindest, most attentive, loyal, and giving people in the world. But when it comes to relationships, there are certain habits that can make them a bit hard to love. As caring and compassionate as they are, empaths can often be their own worst enemy, making it all the more challenging to secure lasting harmony in their intimate relationships. As it turns out, being so sensitive and hyper-aware can sometimes get in the way. To learn more about empaths and the problems they face in relationships, keep watching. Number 1, they're always busy helping others. One trait that makes empaths seem hard to love is their tendency to be overly accommodating. When someone asks them for something, it can be hard for the empath to say no without feeling guilty or taking on more than they should. They often feel responsible for the feelings of others and want to avoid hurting them in any way, so they go out of their way to ensure everyone is taken care of. However, this can lead them to be taken advantage of and overwhelmed by others' needs. Not exactly the best recipe for a healthy relationship. Number 2, they struggle to ask for things they need. Empaths are usually very giving, and their empathy makes them want to give their time, money, and resources to help others. But they often struggle when it comes to asking for things they need. This is because they don't want to be a burden, or they're just too afraid of being rejected. They may also feel that asking for help is selfish or wrong. This can lead to many misunderstandings, which can be frustrating for both parties involved. Number 3, they take things personally. Empaths are highly sensitive people who feel things deeply and react with extreme emotion. The problem is that this sensitivity can make them hypersensitive to criticism, and it can make them take everything personally, whether or not it was intended that way. They can't just brush off a comment or an insult because it hits them so hard. When this happens, the empath may try to shut down and hide from the pain by withdrawing from those who have caused it, sometimes for hours, days, or even weeks at a time. Number 4, they like to behave like a parent. Empaths often become overprotective and over-involved in their relationships, and they like to take on the role of a parent. However, this can be difficult for people with different needs. For example, someone may have a need to socialize more, or they may be more independent. This makes it hard for the empath to trust their partner, and it can also be more difficult for them to let go and rely on their partner for support when needed. Number 5, they take on other people's emotions as their own. Empaths also tend to take on the emotions of others around them, and sometimes they end up feeling things that aren't theirs to feel, like someone else's anger, sadness, or frustration. They often have difficulty distinguishing between what they feel and what they are actually experiencing. As a result, they may be more prone to overreactivity, emotional outbursts, and depression. Number 6, they prefer to socialize on their own terms. Empaths are easily overwhelmed by the amount of chatter and noise around them. They just need their own space sometimes. They need to be able to work through their emotions without feeling judged or pressured. If you try to force them into socializing at the expense of their well-being, it will probably backfire on you. And that's because it feels like an imposition on their own personal space and privacy. Number 7, they pay too much attention to details. Empaths are very observant by nature, and they have a habit of paying too much attention to details. They seem to notice everything. And while this trait may be great in some situations, it's not always such a good thing in their personal life. This level of attention can be hard on their relationships, especially if the other person isn't as observant as they are. If they don't pick up on the little details like the empath does, it can feel like they don't care about certain things. And since empaths are so emotional, this can cause them to feel hurt or frustrated with their partner. Number 8, they often fall for emotionally hurt people. Empaths are like magnets for emotionally hurt people. They have this innate ability to tune into other people's emotions, and they can't help but be drawn to those who are suffering. In fact, empaths often go out of their way to help such individuals, but this can lead to problems in relationships because empaths often get hurt themselves by getting too close or trying too hard to help someone else heal from their pain. Number 9. They may intentionally avoid intimacy and vulnerability. Empaths can be hard on themselves when a relationship doesn't work out. After such an experience in which they were so emotionally involved, they often shy away from being vulnerable and open. They've been burned by someone who didn't appreciate them or reciprocate the care and affection they gave, so they put up walls in an effort to protect themselves. Unfortunately, this can make it really hard to get close to the empath and establish a healthy relationship with them. Empaths may love deeply and experience strong connections to others, but their sensitivity also makes them more susceptible to being hurt. The most important thing to remember is that in order for empaths to flourish, they need support and understanding, even if their sensitive nature makes them at times a bit harder to love. What do you think? In your opinion, what is the most challenging part of being an empath? Share your thoughts in comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so we can keep making them. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and remember to click on the notification bell. Also, be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.